I lived one life until I was 16. And then we got a house call by some policemen because what I didn't know was my father was heavily involved in drug trafficking in Södertälje. It was not that really good, so I had like two choices. I was thinking either I do like mechanics, or if I get my grades up, I do like the restaurant. Being surrounded by mountains and nature like this is something I didn't really know I missed before I came here.
To ask you, is there anything else we haven't covered yet?
No, seaweed.
Seaweed.
Yeah. Tell me about seaweed. Henrik! Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
Come in.
Today we're chatting with Henrik. What we know about him so far is that he grew up in Södertälje. Then he moved to Åre many years ago, where he started in Buustamon kitchen. Then he made his way up to being a chef at Copperhill mountain lodge, and currently is also involved in working in the kitchen at Duved skola. We can't wait to hear more about his story together with you guys.
Growing up, did you have some nice food in your house?
It was more like ordinary Swedish husmanskost.
What is that? Because
it's everything and anything really. It just depends. It's like the most traditional, like the meatballs and lasagna. You almost feel like it's Swedish, but it's when we do it like we do at home, it's more the Swedish. It's with more cream and more cheese.
So your mother was cooking every day?
It was my father was the chef, and he always made the really good bolognese with curry and wild boar meat. So that's my favorite.
Bolognese with curry?
With curry and cream. Like it's not a bolognese; it's a meat sauce. It's a köttfärs sauce, but with wild boar meat.
And wild boar meat from local hunters?
Yeah, we grew up in south of Stockholm. Mm-hmm. So it was Södertälje and a little outside of Södertälje. But my father's friend, he had a wild boar farm. Mm. So we got quite a lot of meat from there.
Mm. How does that? I have not eaten that much actually.
It's really lean. So it's like minced meat is like the way to go because there's no fat. Like on a pig, you have lots of fat, but the wild boar, it's just muscles. Mm. So it's
like
really,
reindeer, or not?
No, it's not.
Elk is quite lean as well.
Yeah, but then you have it's quite a lot of like tenderness. Mm-hmm. Wild boar is like the whole pig or the boar is just one big muscle.
Okay.
Like if you hit a wild boar on the road, it's like hitting a cannonball.
Oh, wow.
It's really hard.
So I can't imagine it's very tasty then, or?
It's quite. It's a gamey meat, flavors, but it's you can't cook it too long. And if you like catch or hunt wild boar in the forest, you have to cook it really like long because you have something called Culinary. It's a parasite.
Okay.
Oh. And it dies at 65 degrees, I think. So you have to cook it well done. And then if you cook the tenderloin or some other, like the pork chop, it's super dry.
Mm. But it's still good.
It's good.
And in your mind, this was one of the best.
Yeah, but if you do it minced, and then you do sausage and meat sauce, it's perfect. And
did you learn to cook as well from your parents?
No. I had my school years was really turmoil. Like my father and mother broke up when I was 16. I had my father had a life. It was a raggare, and it was.
What's a raggare?
It's old muscle cars, American cars. Yeah. So, and raggare is more like a term also for somewhat criminal.
Okay, can you explain it a little bit, because it's so far away from my reality?
Yeah, I can understand that, but for me it was I lived one life until I was 16, and then we got a house call by some policemen, and an husrannsakan. Like they went through our apartment because what I didn't know was my father was heavily involved in drug trafficking in Södertälje. So, and that's where like my life took a 360, a 180. I just spun around.
So you cut ties with him?
No, not cut ties, but I knew somewhat like it was, but not that much. The extent of how involved he was in that.
And your mom knew?
Yeah, she knew.
Okay.
But yeah,
it was part of life. The way it was.
I was 16, and I was starting my first year in gymnasiet, and I got my own apartment. And or like before, I had like my grades in grundskolan.
Yeah,
was not that really good. So I had like two choices. I was thinking either I do like mechanics and then with focus on race cars, or if I get my grades up, I do like the restaurant. And I got my grades up quite enough during ninth grade, and then so I went into cooking school, and then I pretty much like I didn't know what to expect. I just said, "Oh, I can cook food. I like food," but I didn't know that it would fit me as good as it did. So,
and that was in Stockholm.
No, it was in Södertälje.
Okay, you had one there as well.
Yeah,
and then what was it that kind of made you like it?
It's just like the creativity.
Okay,
that was like I was being creative, not like with pictures, but with form and like colors, but not painting. So, but with stuff, and I've always been quite curious, like tinkering and fixing stuff at home. So
that was 3 years of school, I think.
Yeah,
and what did you do after that?
Like I got my own apartment in the second year of the cooking school, and then I got a really good connection with a restaurant in Södertälje that took me in, and I had like a job after school, and then when I quit or graduated, I still had socialbidrag, and then that meant that he could take me in full time, but only pay like half my salary, and I got half the salary from socialbidraget.
Yeah.
And that was like the best thing that could have happened, because it was a really good restaurant, and I got my like kitchen education there.
And was it like Swedish food or?
No, it was like you can say it international cuisine, but with a lot of influences from Asia and Australia and America.
Wow.
So, but he was like the chef there. He was, he just liked creating food, good food, not a specific style, but just good.
And this
food.
was a Swedish guy, I guess. Yeah.
And was it a very intense? Well, if I think of a kitchen, I always think of a lot of intense people shouting and long hours and just like.
No, there was a really small restaurant with about 3 chefs, and put that. So it was, and he and his sous chef, or his closest like help in the kitchen, they both worked at that kind of restaurant. There was like yelling and like abuse and crazy hours. So they both felt like, okay, we want something else.
Okay.
So I got like schooled in with a lot of good communication, good behavior, but you always have times where you just lose it.
Yeah,
because you're like working too much.
Yeah, too many hours.
Yeah.
What's the week look like for you then? In terms of hours, did you have any day off, or was that full on?
Like after school, when I just started working, it was about 10 hours a day.
After school, so you did school?
That
when
was after, during the school times. school days, it was like 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock.
Mm.
So I got 3-4 hours weekdays, and then I worked Saturdays, and Sundays were closed.
Did you have any contact at all with your mom or dad at that point, or was it
No
separation?
No,
sort
it
of?
was pretty much on my own. I couldn't. My father, he was not in jail, but he was out working. My mom, I had connection with her, but it was not really that good.
Okay.
So.
And do you have any brothers or sister or other parts? Of the
No,
family?
I was alone.
You were alone.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, if I may ask, did you?
Yeah, I have my father did a really good turnaround 9 years ago, when my daughter Ilmano was born. So, but and then he made through like 9 years of 8 years of total sobriety, and being the best grandfather ever. But then he got really unlucky and had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
So he went like really bad.
Oh.
But he's about 70% of motor skills and about 80% communication.
Oh, wow.
Right now.
Okay. Wow.
So it's been it's quite hard to see.
Yeah.
When he just almost like were like in a perfect place, and then just really unlucky. And so I don't know if he has enough strength to like pull through once again, but hopefully.
Yeah. Does he live around?
In Färila. It's between here and Gävle.
Okay.
It's about 3 hours. 3 hours drive.
But he's autonomous. He can come up and
he can with help of like rollator and a cane.
Yeah.
And he can walk. It's like small, short walks.
Yeah. Okay. So he still gets to see Hilo.
We have. This was in last Easter. He came up here with my 2 brothers.
Okay.
I got 2 brothers, but with another mother.
Okay.
So we're half brothers.
Mm. And your mother? Is she outside?
No, she passed away 2002,
right?
During Corona. So she lived in Denmark then.
Oh, so she moved out of Sweden.
Yeah, she moved about 15 years ago.
Also to avoid the whole stress, or
she got cancer, like a tumor, in the brain, and it was cancer that was on the lung, but it was not lung cancer, but it pushed out metastaser. I don't know, and it got stuck in the brain. So she had a tumor, had that removed. Where she's from Denmark, in Skanderborg and Aarhus, they have a really good cancer care. So she moved back there to get good treatment for.
Does it scare you in some way about your own life if this all happens around you?
I think about it sometimes, but mostly not. I try and it's just like a mental block.
Yeah.
I think.
Were you able to say goodbye to you?
Yeah. We're down there with Hilo when she was 2 years old and 4 years old. So she saw quite a lot, and we had good communication with FaceTime and stuff like that before it happened.
Because your kids are now 9 and 7.
9 and 7. 9 and 6.
9 and 6.
Wow, that's an impactful youth that you had.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
In many ways.
I've done a lot of talks with professional, for therapists, and try and sort out, because it's quite a lot of different kinds of trauma that I've had a really hard time dealing with when I got older, and it got really bad when Hilo was born, because there was like this whole situation that, okay, how do you manage this? I was working crazy as a head chef up in Copperhill, and it was for first year was like, yeah, I was working really much and just coming home, and yeah, but
It's too much.
it was too much. But it was my diagnosis as ADD and somewhat on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
But I got, when she was 2016, I got got my evaluation. So, and then I have had medication since then.
Okay. Yeah, we had
And that helped me a lot.
We had someone else on the podcast that also talked about that fact that it was quite hard in Sweden to get there, to get
it was
right
really
evaluation.
it's really crazy because you can't get any help for those kind of stuff if you don't like break down in front of the person that's gonna say, okay, we can see or we cannot. And that was exactly what I did, because I just felt like I don't want to, I can't deal with this. Like, I'm going crazy. I make my girlfriend crazy. I make everything like.
Yeah. And how did you find the balance in the end?
This just, it feels like sometimes okay, it's little by little that, okay, now it feels better, and then it just goes back, and then I just try and see what I can learn.
Yeah.
But the medicine helped as well for you. Yeah. So what does that, what has kind of an effect has that have the medicine on you?
It's like for ADD is inward chaos, like a lot of ADHD, like you're all over the place usually, but ADD for me, it was like I took everything inside. My like never-ending mind, always thinking, always like
just keep spinning.
Yeah, you don't get
any rest at all.
Not any rest.
No. So the medicine gives you a bit of rest.
Yeah, it gives me like a calmness and opportunity, like to do things like one at a time, and then just try and sort things out.
At the same time, you manage to, like, it doesn't take your creativity away?
No.
That's good. Nice.
Does it help you in the kitchen as well when you're working?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
You get focused and finish stuff before you start another thing. So that helps.
You're not all over the place constantly.
Yeah. But kitchen life is really good for a controlled kitchen life is really good for people with diagnosis like ADHD and ADD, because you get a lot of creativity and you can work fast, you can work hard, you can laugh. It's really easy to work in.
Did you say you have many other colleagues that have
many?
Yeah. Well, there must be a bunch of crazy energy going on, and if that's
yeah, it can be like that, and sometimes it gets to be too much.
Yeah.
And then you just have to try and find a balance. But usually, like, you find people with quite specific and own characters.
Yeah.
And have you found a certain way to deal with your kitchen as a chef? As in, you made it then from the first restaurant you worked in to Buustamon, if I know, and Copperhill eventually, and probably some things in between. But what became your style then that worked for you?
Like cooking style?
Yeah, or also management, I guess. Being a chef is probably also like 50% managing everything that happens.
Yeah, but I've always been really like kind. I'm not like the one that yells and throws down ultimatums and stuff like that. I always felt I got too many chances when I was young. So I do the same thing for the people that I work with now. Always like, okay, if this doesn't work, then we try and see how can we make this work for you.
Wow.
So always trying to, anpassa.
Adjust.
Yeah, adjust the task to fit the person.
Yeah.
And not find a person to do the task.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And because we've been working with so many different people, like during the years, because it's like 90% seasonal workers, and then 10% regular staff. That's always there. So you have to, like, you can't really know what kind of kitchen you have until everyone's there. And if you like set your mind to one style or one thing to do in the kitchen, and then you find out that the staff that's here, they're not really capable of doing exactly what you'd like them to do. So you have to find a balance. Okay, we start here and then we evolve.
So every season,
every season is different.
it's new, but that's also part of the fun. Then, maybe.
But your style sounds incredible, but it's almost sounds like this thing like what we try to do as parents. We try to be patient and adjust, and it's not always easy.
No, but it's the same. It's the same way.
Yeah, but how do you stay calm when shit hits the fan? Like, what is your? I don't say you stay calm. Maybe you don't.
More now than before. Like it depends on how hard you like that you worked yourself. Like if you're too tired and you work 250 hours in a month, then you don't have any patience, and it just explodes. But if you try and keep calm and then like think 2 times before you speak, usually like you can find a way.
So that's your trick. Think 2 times before you speak.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, but that's something that's I've always been good at learning from my mistakes. So, and I try and not do them too many times.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not.
Has that evolved over the years? I always wonder that maybe now these days also the kitchen environment has become maybe a bit more relaxed than it used to be.
Yeah, it's more relaxed, and the guys and girls that come into the kitchen now is more like product of today. So before you knew that if you went into the kitchen, you knew what to expect. But now you have a lot of young people that grows up watching the fine, easy kitchen life on TV, like TV4 Morgonsoffa. Okay, we can cook some food, and then they come into the kitchen, and then they're about, oh shit, what's this?
It's still a big difference than the real, in the real life.
Yeah, and I think that the school, the restaurant kitchen school now, it's too much focused on like the theoretics and every like what school is. You have to have all the curriculums, math and Swedish and history, and then you have the kitchen. They have about 2 times a week with just cooking, and then it's the theoretics. It's important as well, but it's too little kitchen practice before they come out, I think.
Yeah.
So that changed over the years then?
No, it's the same now as it was 20 years ago. And they need more, I think they need more time, like physical time in the kitchen, in more different kitchens.
Yeah, just experience.
Yeah. Because that's one hard thing, because every time, like when you get young people in the kitchen and then they think, okay, but at this place, they say to do it like this, or this chef told me to do it like this, and why are you now telling me to do this? And I say, okay, this is how you go. You're like, you listen to that chef and you do it his way, and then you have another chef, you do it his way, and then you have this chef, you do it his way, and then you do that until you know everyone's way to do things, and then you make it your way. So that's like, because they feel frustrated. Oh, but he told me to do it like this, but don't think it like that. Just do it, learn it, do it, learn it, and then when you're ready, you do it by yourself.
Yeah, that's how you learned, I guess.
Yeah.
And when did you arrive in Åre? Or how did you get here? What's the story behind that?
It was in January 2003. It was my first season.
And why? Or what got you here?
Buustamon was my like where I came because the guy who was head chef there was a close friend to put my boss in Södertälje at the restaurant I worked. And Rickard Blomdin, is also like been in Åre for like 25 plus years, 30 I think maybe. But he was the one egging me on to come up.
Yeah, you wanted to change from.
Yeah,
from
and
Stockholm.
I had a girlfriend during my 4 years in during my whole gymnasietid and or half my gymnasietid and a couple of years after. So and we broke up, and I felt okay. Then I go.
And did you go here partly because it was in the mountains, or did that not interest you? And it was more.
No,
just
it
because
was
of the
more
restaurant?
like a story and a painting of Åre as the Wild West.
Okay.
Like, or not the Wild West, but it was, we take the snowmobile down to Bean, and then we go party, and then there's no police officers, there's nothing. It was like that, but on a joking side.
How was Åre back in 2003?
It was the first year they got a meter made.
Okay.
For
getting the parking card.
Yeah. So I got about 4,000 in parking tickets my first season. Because I parked my car outside of Buustamon's staff house. And before they didn't have any...
Nobody checking it.
No, nobody checking it, but I had my car there. And
but I had a staff house in Åre Center.
Yeah, it's still the same place. It's the big house that's connected to the school. Stationsvägen. It's
in Åre.
Yeah, in Åre Centrum.
Ah, okay.
And that's the year you met Lulu, then?
Yeah. It was like funny because I came up to the staff house at 6 o'clock. It was Tuesday. And everybody was it was a Sunday. Everybody was doing ready to go out, so I just but I can come out. So it was like I came to Åre at 6. I was drunk at 10, and I made out with Lulu at 2. So it was, and then we had like a loose connection, or we saw each other regularly, but it was not like, okay, we're together. But
was she also working in the kitchen? Or
yeah, she was working at Fjällbyn. It's now Bygget, it's called now. But then those years, Ski Star owned that, like the whole the restaurant and the nightclub and stuff like that.
Speaking of that, has the restaurant scene in Åre changed a lot since 2003, since you came here, or is it quite similar?
It's always getting better.
Yeah.
So, but it was really good. Like the restaurants during my first years, we had a really like specific fine dining, and it was called Marmit. And this was owned by 2 sisters. They're now heavily involved, or I don't know if they're right now, but with the Svenska chefs, the Swedish chef team that competes, and they've been doing really good, or like a lot of work in the Swedish culinary.
What do you mean Swedish chefs that compete? Is it like a national competition?
Yeah, Svenska kocklandslaget.
I don't know.
It's a chef team that sometimes you have the the biggest cooking competition in the world, Bocuse d'Or. It's in France, and it's like a world championship of cooking.
Never heard of this.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. No, it's.
Is it
Sweden
televised?
has one.
It's probably not televised. It's not.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not in like. Yeah, when it's Bocuse d'Or, I think it's like SVT.
Cool.
Show it.
And what's the competition about? Sorry, I don't want to go too deep into it. But if you know,
it's like it's a whole other world of cooking. It's not really, it's cooking, but it's more really artistic and like the smallest details about consistency and color and taste.
And did the Swedish team win once?
Yeah, I think we won it 2 times.
So the level is quite high in Sweden.
We're in the top 3 regularly.
Okay.
In like cooking competitions.
What is your style? Are you more of the fine little details, or do you like rustic?
I'm more. My focus is in flavor and consistency, and it's like pleasant plating. Like not, it has to be pleasant to the eyes, like forms and colors and textures. And like my style is usually like chaotic, but with order inside. if that
chaotic
makes any sense.
So organized chaos.
Yeah.
And are you like this at home as well, or does your chef ability stay out of the home
I'm
kitchen?
the same.
Yeah.
So Lulu, she can get somewhat crazy on me because I have order, and then 2 minutes later I have no order.
Yeah, so it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
But you and Ludo, when you're home after work, can you enjoy cooking in the kitchen together?
Always.
Yeah.
Or like our kitchen is too small to stand side by side, but there's been now Lulu has been doing most of the cooking for the last year, but before it was me, and then we go. Yeah, depends on who's home at first, but cooking is never boring.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing that you can still like it after so many.
Yeah.
Years
For me, it's been my life.
Yeah.
So, and I like being a chef, and I like the life in the kitchen, and I like food. So
yeah. And so right now you're not at Copperhill anymore. What's happening
sometimes
these days?
No, I get up when there's short on staff, or if they have big groups, or if they have small like guests in their private villa. I usually take those kind of jobs.
That sounds really fun, though.
It's really
cooking
fun.
in a private villa for people.
No, but that is my passion now. Because doing dinners at home for everything depends. Families up until 12, 13 people. Depends.
And then you can just do whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Just be fully creative and enjoy. And do you have somebody helping you then, or you do it
No,
by
I usually
yourself?
do it all by myself.
Nice.
So, and I try and make like the dinners that I've been doing for the last couple of years has been more designed to the guests. So I usually like have a talk with them before, and then see what they would like to have, and if there's something special in mind, and then I create the menu after that.
Are they ever really picky, or do they just let you do what you do?
Usually do what I do, but I don't. I want them to be specific
in what they like. Yeah. And you also helped in opening up a new restaurant next to the Q8.
Yeah, the little pasta place.
Yeah. How's that experience been?
No, it's been good. It's fun. It was really fun to work with Sixto again, my old friend.
Nice.
So we got because he came to Sweden my first year, 2003, I think. No, 2004, and we met him in Sandhamn. It's a small island outside of Stockholm. And the sister restaurant to Buustamon is Dykarbaren. So I went jobbed Buustamon during the winter, and then we went down to Dykarbaren for the summer. And that's where we met Sixto, and he was doing cleaning because his uncle had a cleaning or like crew, cleaning crew from Chile. And then that's where I met him the first time.
Friends forever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is that the same place you went back year after year to work in a summer seasons?
Yeah, Dykarbaren, I did Buustamon and Dykarbaren 5 years in a row. So 5 seasons.
It's like a summer bar.
Yeah, well, summer. It's like a high tempo, small a la carte restaurant with a bar. It was not that big. It was like 45 seats.
Mm.
That's not what you do now in the summer, right?
No.
No, because now you're in Gotland. I
Yeah,
think.
Fårö, like the northern island of Gotland, small. Been there 6 years, but I made my last summer season this.
Yeah, why did it end?
I don't know. It's like the breakup from Åre and go down and start working in the summer just get more and more hard when the kids got older.
Yeah.
And before, like, they go, okay, bye-bye, Papa.
Yeah, they don't care. They're
Okay,
young
now, yeah. It was getting more difficult.
They didn't join you there. They stay here the whole summer.
Yeah, but they come down for vacation.
Yes. But you work super hard there as well. So
yeah. So it was focused. It was a really easy job on that side, that we had the same menu every season. We didn't change anything too much. We just made corrections due to like prices on something goes too high. We had to find an option because we didn't want to have a place where it was super expensive. Like, it was tailored for like easy family and affordable.
Mm.
Nice. And now you are in the school kitchen with Lulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite like I like it. I didn't think I would like it, but I really do.
How did that happen?
It was more like I felt I did a year of as a teacher for the restaurant school here in Åre, and I was really about didn't get it extended because I didn't have the qualification as a regular teacher must have. And Lulu, they needed a chef in the kitchen for making like the main meal, the main course for lunch. And I said, well, I can try it. And like big kitchen style cooking is like the one thing of kitchen life that I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's a new experience. Yeah. Just for the listeners who don't know about this, in Sweden, kids get warm lunch, I think everywhere in Sweden, if I'm correct. So it is a huge kitchen. I think, if I'm correct, you guys cook for 700 people, because it's not only the school, but also
if the school is fully attended, it's 600. And then we have 300 fully, like for all the preschools, or like 4 in Åre and 3 in Duved.
And then also the retirement home, or not?
No, we had that before.
Okay.
But now it's been another kitchen in Järpen that does that, because they do it for the äldrevården in Järpen. So, and we have cars going from Järpen to Åre, so they do it together.
Wow! So you guys cook for 900 people every day.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay. How does this work? I just see huge pots and pans.
Yeah, we have two steam pots or cooking pots that get heated by steam, or pressurized steam.
Like high pressure pans.
Yeah. So, but it's on big. You can push some buttons and it tilts, and then you have like attachments that you can have something like a whisk going through, but we have 3 of those, but 200 liters and then 160 liters.
Wow.
So and 160 liters.
160 and 200.
200 liters.
How do you get started? Are you like, okay, this is a recipe I like, I do it times 900? Or is
I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but you have to like just supersize everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's easy. It was easy for me to get into that style of cooking, because I've seen it sometimes, and then sometimes in like the biggest steam shittel I saw before was in Copperhill, but that is like half the size of the smallest one. Okay. But I know, you have to just. It feels like you're painting. You're just putting in 2 boxes of salt, and then it's those
Whoa.
these kind of spices, and then it's onions, and
So you just multiply everything by
try and
100 or something.
sometimes. And it's like when you do a stew in the school, like we do the thing we buy in is chopped and frozen vegetables. Like that's because you can't stand and prepare vegetables like onions and peppers and stuff like that
amount,
in that amount. So you have to have and then we buy it. Most of those ingredients are eco labeled, so it's really good.
Okay, and is that machine chopped then?
It's machine chopped. Usually it's machine chopped. So or sliced or cut.
So there is not a very big budget to play with, I guess.
It's
how do you make that work?
You make it work because we have some subsidized milk. We get something from the government called mjölkbidrag. So we pretty much don't pay anything for milk. That's something the government does. So the where we have the milk is the company is called Norrmejerier, and it's their eco-labeled one. So everything we buy from them, they get the money from the government instead of us. So we have 13-ish kronor to make a lunch and mellanmål, mellis.
Per child, 13
per
krona.
child, yeah.
Wow.
That's around €1 per day.
Yeah. And the bigger the school, like for us having maximum 900, gives us better chance to do good food for those kind of money, because it gets like the bigger batches you make, the cheaper you can make it.
And you came in there with a different vision than other chefs, I guess.
Yeah, I came in as trying to make the food as close as possible to what I would serve or do at home, using more spices than probably anyone. So Lulu said, well, like when I came in, like the spice account went up 300%.
And for those who are skeptical, I've eaten at the school kitchen because I worked there last year, and it's incredible. I was really blown away by the quality and all the salad choices, and it's like a buffet.
Yeah, and like that's an easy thing to do if you have like the space to do it. And since the school is as new as it is, those kind of stuff was really like thought about before they like made the school. So we have a good.
So a chef was thinking along with the building of the school.
There was quite a few of the kitchen chefs, like the school chefs in Åre kommun that were invited to tell or speak of something. Okay, how would you like to do this?
Wow.
So they took in quite a lot of information from the old guard.
And how is it flavor-wise? Are you happy with the stuff that you produce?
Yeah. I'm happy with doing. Like we can always do it better. That's what I think. Like when in the school kitchen, but we're always constrained by the money.
Yeah, but I mean, in that budget, you're happy with what you can produce.
And we live in a day and age with way too much leftovers or like food thrown away. From my experience in kitchens and stuff. How do you guys deal with that? Because I imagine it's very hard to predict how much kids are going to eat certain days.
Yeah, so we have, as a general, quite a little food waste, but it's like you said, sometimes you have more due to, like, if you don't know if there's a lot of students that are homesick or something else happens, but we have big storage facilities, like a big freezer, and help like utrustning, like equipment that helps us to take care of leftovers. But space is the main thing to have, because you can always freeze in. And then we have days that we just call restfest.
Yeah, restfest.
Then we take out everything that we've been like frozen down, but we try and keep it like a maximum of 2 weeks.
Yeah, smart.
Did you ever have the kids come to you and say, well, this year it tastes better or different than before you were there?
Yeah, it's been, since it's so many students, you have everything from the ones that always think it's no good, and then you have students that think it's okay, it's really good, and then we have the teachers that are really good, like measure and stick on how good it's been, and we get quite a lot of good feedback.
So you see yourself doing this for a few more years now?
No, not a few more years, but at least 1 more year.
Okay. And how is it to work in the kitchen with your wife? Are you guys married?
No.
With your girlfriend?
We should be married, but we're engaged, and it's been us for 20 years now. So.
Nice.
No, it's really good, because like the years before, I started in the school 2 years ago. I'm in my 2nd year now, but I was working a lot, and we hardly saw each other, and it was just meeting in the door and picking up kids. So this gave us a chance to just get some time together again.
And did you learn something about each other that you didn't know yet? I guess working.
I think we always do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, but it's mainly on the easy side, because our roles in the kitchen are so separate. We don't like do the same thing. I have my thing. I go in and I cook the main meal, and then it's a small kitchen, like ordinary kitchen work during the rest day. It's a lot of cleaning.
I can imagine.
Half the time is pretty much cleaning.
So that as well, and then logistics, I guess?
Yeah.
Or is that not your job, to take care of everything getting there and stuff?
No, what do you think? Like ordering? No, that it can be my. I can do that if somebody's sick, or But usually that's Lolo's. She's like the organizer and the leader of everything that goes around in the kitchen. And she has a lot of communication with teachers and parents of children, or like students that have special needs, or like when it comes to what they can eat and allergies and stuff like that.
Is that quite a lot these days?
Yeah. It's getting more and more.
How do you deal with that? Because then you have to make different.
Yeah, so we have about 20 which we have 20 kids that have 20 different kinds of
allergies.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we try and find like about 6 or 7 dishes that everybody can eat, and then we do special for some of them. But we have one chef in the kitchen that only does that.
Okay. That's smart as well. And do you have any challenges like this that you still want to take on, that you know about? For example, now you do the big kitchen work. Is there something else in the cooking world that you want to try?
My last, the one thing that I'm planning on doing and working towards now is going out to an oil platform.
Okay.
And work in the kitchen there.
That is, I think
that's my next.
The people working on the oil platform will be very grateful when you do that.
Yeah, but I think like it's those kind of. I have friends that are out working in the kitchen on platforms now, and it's quite similar to the school style of kitchen. It's a buffet, and there's a lot of different kinds of food, but it's that kind of. It's not working as a chef at a busy restaurant. You go in and then you cook a big buffet for big oil workers.
And what is a challenge then for you?
That I don't know. That I want to see. Okay, that's why. And I've been curious about that for quite a while.
And how about that feeling of them being? Because I assume this is like the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the 2 weeks on and 4 weeks off.
Okay, that's not that bad. I don't know if I could do it though, honestly. Like we always work together and I couldn't be away, but maybe because we've been literally together for 14 years and everything that we do. How do you see that?
It's pretty much like during the summer times when I go away and I work, and then we're off, or like it can be a month that I'm away and Lolo's at home with the kids, and doing that kind of, it's been like that for
so it's
for
normal,
a very long time, because before we got Hilmalo and the kids, I was working in Norway, and then I was doing a lot of communication back and forth. I was there like 2-3 times, like 3 weeks, and sometimes 1 month, sometimes 2 days. So it's quite common, or like
you don't mind.
normal
like
for us to do that. And right now with the kids in the school and have everything there, it's easy to be away 2 weeks or maybe 2.5, depends if things get delayed, or if you get stuck on the platform, which happens.
We have a friend who works on one, and we heard some stories, but I guess it's definitely cool to experience. Like you said, it's something totally different.
Yeah, but it was I'm like curious to try it. I think it can work for me, because then I have 4 weeks at home, and then I can really work on and do those kind of private chef dinners more of a regular thing, and be like have a
Where can people find you if they want to have you as a private chef?
Right now it's just on Instagram.
Okay.
And my company is called 369 Cooking.
Nice. 369 Cooking. Oh yeah, that's a concept that you said, no? The 369. Can you explain that?
No, it's like the astro numbers, and it's like 3 is for family, 6 is for creativity, and 9 is for like philanthropy. So that's why it's called 369.
Nice. And do you have any other dreams like this? So we have the oil platform. Is there something else, like making sushi?
Yeah,
no?
I have. I did a sushi concept on Copperhill my last year there, before Hilmalo was born, or it was the same year, but it was the year I hit the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no more sushi.
No, but it's making sushi is really fun. I like it, and I like to do sushi, but with like mountain flavors, blueberry and smoked venison.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And trout
really
roe.
Cool.
And trout.
Nice. Okay, maybe we should reconsider that project.
Yeah, but I have like I always try and fine tune it. Yeah. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. So sometimes I have a family that I cook for 2 times a year, and I've been doing that kind, but fine tuning some like ingredients or style of cooking on it.
And how is the Ore restaurant business? Is it like a very small community, and are people always interchanging? Like you work 1 year at this restaurant?
It was really small and a tight community from like my first 10-12 years here, like from 2003 when I came, and 10 years on.
So you knew everybody?
Yeah, that was but it's been changing quite a lot the last 5-10 years, because we have a lot of restaurant owners that is not from here. The big like Mr. French and some other restaurants has been developing in Ore that's really like Stockholm based, but and it's like 2 times or like twice as many restaurants now as.
What are the oldies? Like which ones were around when you started?
Verséns and Broken och Liten Krog.
That's it.
That's like and then you have the small called Labans. It's the pizza lab that's by mittemot Creperiet.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Okay.
And Tottebo is now the Asian like supper.
Yeah.
But that was like a traditional Åre restaurant. But now, but the house has been there the same. But it's been redone and
is it
renovated.
hard for a restaurant to survive in Åre?
Yeah, it's. I think it's hard for like the ones in the center, because you have those three like Verséns and Broken, Liten Krog. They're always stable. Like everybody goes there.
Yeah. Funny that's it became probably tradition for most people when they're here on a holiday.
So it's nice that those are still here. They're
but people should maybe also try other things. Then.
Yeah, they're better now than ever, I think. Yeah. Broken is a really good like family restaurant. And Liten Krog is the same.
I was just going to ask, what's your favorite? Maybe hard to say because there's so many here.
To go and eat?
Yeah, yourself.
If I want to eat something that's like as far away as what I cook myself, so it's usually like supper or Asian post office, and do like the Asian style.
Yeah, something completely different. That makes sense. Yeah, APO, I guess it's called. That's for me, it was a bit of a different concept with DJ and stuff.
Yeah.
Things are happening there. What do you think of that, the whole thing of music mixing with restaurants?
Yeah, I think it's like, it depends on what kind of mood you're in. When you like, I don't know. I really don't have any.
Do you go out on the mountain and eat sometimes in the restaurants there?
Yeah, it's like, last couple of years have been extremely a few times I went out to dinner. So, but in Buustamon has always been a really nice and good concept restaurant for like, it's been that forever, I think.
You came here for your love for cooking, but did you fall in love with the mountains as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. So.
And why is that?
No, it's being surrounded by mountains and nature like this is something I didn't really know I missed before I came here, because I've been growing up in suburbs of Stockholm and Södertälje and concrete, but I always enjoyed going out fishing. That was like the big thing I did with my father when I was fishing. Really, like 2 times a week, fishing for pike and for pike perch, and
So you still do that now?
Yeah. So, but I try and do what I really like to do is fly fishing.
That takes patience, I think. I've never tried it, but I really want to try.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I'll join you next time.
But it's more about activity, right? That's what I always heard. It's less about actual.
No, it's more like just being out and doing it.
Yeah. You take your kids out fishing?
No, we've been right now. I think this year with Hilo and Vigo, they're starting. Yeah. So before they were too small to really understand how to fly fish, but probably this year.
Nice.
And do you have any advice for people who want to become a chef, and maybe more specifically in Åre, who want to get into the business here?
To be a chef?
Yeah, or maybe that, but also here specifically in Åre, if they want to work in the restaurant industry here.
Yeah, like we get a really flux of people coming here every season. So, but the hardest thing to get people to stay in the kitchen here is finding accommodation, or like some place to live or rent long time. Like you have so few apartments that are available for seasonal workers.
Are they working on that? Are they making it better in some way?
There were in Duved with the railroad tracks. You had like a big structure now, but that's supposed to be rental apartments, I think. But that got halted because of like they didn't have enough money, so it got bankrupt, and then somebody is trying, I think, to restart it. But yeah, you need
money.
You need apartments.
Where would you start if you were your younger self? Would you just go back to Buustamon and start there?
Yeah, Buustamon is a really good restaurant for as a new chef, and Copperhill as well, because you have quite a lot of different positions that you can start with. You don't have to be super knowledgeable in the kitchen. You can start pretty much on a You're not alone in the kitchen. You have people helping you, and it's a really good climate, kitchen-wise, with good communication and good leaders.
That's really good. Did you set a certain stamp there for how it should be? Is your legacy still a bit there, or
I think so. I have Linda, who's she's now like hotel manager. She started the same season as I did, and I feel like when I go into the kitchen, I always feel like I was the one that, together with Lotta, one of the owners, that designed the kitchen as it looks now. So I said, okay, should be here and this should be here, and so I got the chance to redesign the kitchen when we renovated in 2007.
Is Buustamon you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did they change a lot more after that, or is it?
No, it's the same kitchen design wise, but there's new equipment. But we changed all the kitchen, did a 180, and we opened a wall, and then we did the new, because it was so old before. So we had to do the renovation to keep on having a kitchen. So they ended up.
Because Buustamon is one of the older buildings,
Yeah.
even right here in the whole valley, I guess. It used to be a barn, or what?
It's Buustamon is an old Samish word. It's called like it's a vindskydd på heden. It's like a safe place on the mountain to get away from bad weather. It was like a small barn, as you said, but and a våffelstuga in the beginning, and then it's just been growing and growing.
Yeah, so it used to be owned by the Sami.
No, I think I don't know actually exactly on who. No, just the name Buustamon is
okay.
Samist, but it was because it was like this standalone barn on the mountain.
Do you like to cook out in nature as well? To just go somewhere wild and then start cooking on a fire?
I really like it, but it's been ages since I did it before. But being outside and cooking on fire is magical.
Yeah, something special too.
Yeah.
You see yourself being a chef till 70, 80, 90, or whatever? Yeah, till...
I don't see an end.
You don't see an end? No.
No, I think I'm going to do this for as long as I can.
And
in one way, one form or another.
Yes.
That's why I'd like to see, like doing this regular kitchen hours as behind the stove in a busy restaurant. Those is fun once in a while now, but it gets too much, takes a too big a toll on my body.
So you were looking for a variation of things.
Like so just doing the creativity or the creative dinners and entertaining people and giving them like a food experience. That's what I want to do.
Have you been to Aura Nature Studio?
No.
That's also really cool in that sense.
I've heard a lot about it, but no, it's on my list.
Yeah, I think we can highly recommend it. What I wanted to ask is there anything else we haven't covered yet?
No, seaweed.
Seaweed.
Yeah. Tell me about seaweed.
No, it's one thing that I learned was in Norway. I worked in a restaurant called Stokke Sjøsenter. It's a small restaurant.
It doesn't mean something?
Stokke is the name of the island.
Okay.
And Sjöcenter is just on the beach, and they had an old diving school and a big farm with sheeps. But the people I worked for there were really trying to like work with what the sea had to offer. And before, like 50 years ago, seaweed was a really big part of Norwegian food, because like it's super good for you. Like it grows indefinitely. You just have to go out and pick it up. And then I got a year of total like experimenting and foraging and trying to find new types of seaweed and what we could do with that in when we cook. The thing is like trying to find a seaweed that fits and can replace something that you have to grow agriculturally. Like you have a seaweed and that's called string seaweed or remtong. It looks like noodles, but it's really hard. Like you can boil it and it gets really green and nice, and then it goes gray. So you don't have aesthetic wise, it's
not beautiful.
No, but you can do stuff with it. But what I found out is that if you fermented that seaweed in the kitchen for 2 weeks, or like in the fridge for 2 weeks, I thought it was bad when I found it, because I put it in and then I forgot about it, and then I took it out and it was like slimy and gluey, but it still smelled like the ocean. So I just rinsed it off and then I cooked it, and then I found out that it didn't change color. It was getting like the nice green all the way until it was soft like spaghetti or noodles.
So it worked.
Yeah, so we did like a noodle bowl, but with just the seaweed.
Wow.
And it tastes well?
Yeah.
I learned from somebody when we were traveling in Norway with the bus. Somebody told me to just grab the brown seaweed.
Yeah.
You know, you see it with all the bubbles in it. And just put it in a pan with a bit of oil and salt. And it gets a bit crispy, yummy. And
you have a few of different kinds of seaweed that have like licorice flavors to it. Yeah. And then you have one is called draugtare. It looks like a gigantic sea rhubarb. It's like a big sail, and then you have a stem that's like this thick. Then you peel it, and then it's like a salty rhubarb with like oyster tones. So that is like that kind of seaweed. If you are fishing for cod or for halibut, and you get stuck, because if you get stuck with the lure in that one, you can't get it off because it's so big.
But then you can go get it and you can eat it.
Yeah.
Instead of the fish. That would be good. So speaking of sustainability, is there other tricks that you learned or things that we should think about?
Thinking about like in the school.
I don't know, anything that you learned that I like this one, the seaweed thing, just alternatives to what we've been using. And
what I really think is that we have to try and get away from the highly processed alternative for meat, like the soy products, and I think it's bad for you. I don't know. It's too much of a process to make something looks like something that you shouldn't eat.
We were eating vegan for a while.
Yeah.
This is when I was pregnant of Ziggy, so 5 years ago. And we did buy a lot of those alternatives. And then after a while, I was like, I started looking. I always look at the ingredients, but the more and more I was like, there's so much crap in it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then what is better? Is it better to eat what we do now? Again, it's just organic meat and fish and whatever, and not too much, and just, you don't have to eat it every day.
And eat more. And I think seaweed can play a really good part in that, but it's depends on also how how easy it is to get it.
Yeah,
and you have
if
to
you have to go miles away to get it, then
Exactly.
it's a different story again.
And I think now there's a few companies in Sweden that now do really good like alternatives to meat as well. But it's like 2 ingredients. It's usually broad beans and yellow peas and gray peas. You have really good base for making some like patties and meat sauce, but not processed, just dried and prepared.
Yeah, just try different ways. It's fun to experiment in the kitchen. But they I think
I live with you, so I know every day.
Every day is experiment.
It's an experiment.
Who's cooking at home? Is you?
Yeah.
Val is mostly cooking. Yeah.
90%. But I love when he does a 10%. That's good. Unless we can switch.
Yeah, I grew up with a very classic Belgian upbringing food-wise. So it's potatoes, meat, and a vegetable. But still good in a way because it's not processed. It's just all the ingredients. And very simple.
Super.
Yeah, very easy.
To wrap it up today, we have some rapid fire fun. If you're ready.
Yeah.
Snowboard or ski?
Snowboard.
Hiking or biking?
Biking.
Evening person or morning person?
Evening.
Sauna or hot tub?
Hot tub.
There you go. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for today.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.